Welcome back to 10,000 Steps with Baby. Today I'm going to do a little day in the life episode because this is my guilty pleasure. Okay, so in the 20 minutes or so that I get in bed before I fall asleep, I love to go on TikTok and watch day in the life videos. I love watching them with people of all different countries, people with kids, really boring ones, and people who have quite exciting, jet-setting lives. I watch lots of the boring mum ones where they tidy the house and go to home bargains. I have no idea why I love them so much. I find it really relaxing, and I love these little snippets into people's everyday dull lives. And I also love having a nosy at people's houses and what they buy in the shops. I find it so intriguing. So I thought I would do a podcast version of A Day in My Life, and I'm going to choose this random Monday, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, 6:30 a.m. Alba has woken up for a feed. This is her 10th wake of the night. She looks like she wants to go back to sleep, but this is my most precious part of the day as Jack takes over and I get my golden hour of sleep until 7:30, knowing that someone else is looking after the kids. At 7:15, my 3-year-old James comes into the room. He has a toy plane and a book, which are presents for me, he tells me. I tell him that Mummy is very tired and to go back downstairs to Daddy as Mum is still sleeping. He says, "Okay, Mummy," and then leaves, turning on the extremely bright overhead light as he does. Lie face down in a pillow, feeling angry towards Jack. 7:30. Alarm goes off, but it's the same time Jack appears in the bedroom holding baby Alba, tells me she needs a feed. Jack turns off the big light, thank God. 7:45, finish feeding Alba. She's fallen asleep in our bed. I decide to try and sneak in a shower while she's asleep, get out of bed, and James immediately bursts into the room telling me it's time to get up. He turns on the big light and Alba wakes up crying. Jack comes up the stairs and removes both kids back downstairs. James starts crying as he wanted to go down the stairs first. Jack says he'll put on Paw Patrol if James stops crying and gets downstairs to get ready. I get in the shower, put on my toner, deodorant, eye cream and SPF moisturiser. I love Bioma and Inculist, by the way. They're great, really rate them. And then I get dressed in my gym leggings, sports brand jumper, which is like my uniform for every day because I live in perpetual hope that today will be the day that I manage to do a workout. I brush my teeth, I brush my hair, I put on perfume, and I put on my Apple Watch. At 8 a.m, I open the blinds in our bedroom and make the bed. I put my favourite thing in the world on the bed, which is my upstairs-downstairs bag, patent pending, which is essentially a big woven basket with handles, and I use it to take everything I need downstairs in the morning and everything I need upstairs at night. And Jack endlessly slags it off, but honestly, it has changed my life. I put the dirty nappies from overnight in there, plus my 2 massive water bottles, my AirPods, and any laundry that needs going down. And then I open up the blinds in James's room and go downstairs. 8:05. Jack has made me a coffee, which is lovely, and put it in my takeaway cup. James is mostly dressed thanks to Paw Patrol, so I put on his socks and shoes. Then I empty half the dishwasher whilst holding Alba. Then I can't put away the rest. 8:15, sit down to feed Alba again as she's at the end of her tether, needing a nap, but she needs to last 10 more minutes before we leave. James crawls into my lap at the same time, meowing like a cat. I tell James I'm turning off the TV in 2 minutes. The problem is he doesn't know the difference between 2 minutes and 2 hours, so that will be a fight in the next 5 minutes. Alba does a massive poo, so I change her, and then I remember about the coffee I forgot. It's cold, so I put it in the microwave. 8:20, turn off Paw Patrol, and James, of course, starts crying. Try to placate him by asking him if he wants to choose a piece of fruit to eat on the way to school, and he picks out 5 different things from the bowl and sticks them all in the hood of the pram. Refuses to put on a jacket, although it's 1 degree outside this morning. I put Alba in her suit and get the sling on. Remember my coffee is in the microwave and take a swig and burn my entire tongue. James and Alba are now both crying. Jack comes back downstairs from getting ready and helps get all 3 of us into prams, slings, and out the door. Leave the house only 5 minutes late today, which is good. 8:35, we walk to preschool. There are pieces of fruit keep falling out the pram hood, and I have to stop and do this weird deep squat with the sling on to pick them off the pavement. Other parents judge me because James is not wearing a coat and it is freezing outside. And then I realise I forgot to wipe James's face before we left, and he's smeared cheek to cheek with porridge. 8:45. Drop off at preschool. Lots of kisses. That's nice. I consider walking to the local co-op, but I have the pushchair and Alba is already breaking my back in the sling. And I'm also dying for my coffee, which I never managed to drink. So we walk home. Realise as I get home that we have a baby class in 90 minutes. So I quickly do the mental arithmetic that if she wakes up now by me going inside the house, then she'll want to nap as the class starts. So I dump the pushchair outside the house, grab the coffee, which has gone cold again, and keep walking. 10 a.m, Alba starts to stir in the sling, so I stop walking loops around our block and go into the house. I feed her on the couch, then change her nappy, and we have a quick stretch on the floor before jumping in the car for music class down the road. 10:30 a.m, we have music class. This week we are jungle explorers. Alba chews on some plastic insects and loves the songs and the little shakers. 11:20 a.m, arrive back home. Two of my friends are actually coming over today, and they've offered to bring lunch, which is amazing because I have nothing in the house. I'm absolutely starving by this point, and I eat my way in tomato soup, bread and salami. Great lunch. They've both got kids themselves, and they take turns holding and playing with Alba. 1:30 p.m. My friends leave, and I realise Alba has been awake for 3 hours. So I get comfy on the couch with a Diet Coke, and I put on Modern Family, which is my current guilty pleasure, and she feeds and falls asleep in my arms. 2:30 p.m, Jack comes downstairs as his meeting has been cancelled. Alba has just woken up, so they play on the floor for a little bit, and I tidy the kitchen and make a peanut butter and jam sandwich for James and put his gymnastics clothes in my bag. 3 p.m, last minute poo from Alba means we're slightly late out the door, but I hustle down to the school and we pick up James. He has a picture of Humpty Dumpty that he's made, and he tells me the nursery rhyme 14 times as we walk to the local leisure centre. And when I ask what he did today, he says nothing. We walk the long way through the park for fun, and Alba falls asleep in the sling again. She's having quite a sleepy day today. We have a quick 10-minute play in the park, and James eats his sandwich in the pushchair. 4 p.m, we get James changed into shorts and t-shirt. He cries because I took his jumper off the wrong way, but he gets over it quite quickly as he's excited to go to his gymnastics class. Parents aren't allowed to stay, so I go for a walk back round to the park. Feel a bit depressed because in a couple more weeks it'll be too dark to do this, which will be rubbish. Alba is still absolutely conked out cold, so I try to think of something relaxing to do with this 45 minutes of free time, but I can't think of anything, so I do a Tesco order on my phone and pick James's lunches for the week on the school app. So I feel productive, if not relaxed. 4:45 p.m, pick up James from gymnastics class. A really nice dad watches me struggling to put on James's socks and shoes with Alba being squashed in the sling, and he does it for me. Walk home, and my back feels like I've been hit by a truck, but Alba is still out cold, and she has been in the sling for about 2 hours now. 5 p.m, Jack is still working upstairs in his office, but he's made spag bol while we've been out, so I just put the pasta on to cook, and then I feed Alba while James plays with his trucks. 5:30 p.m, James is just getting hungry and tired. Jack finishes work and we eat dinner with Alba on her bouncer on the table, and she enjoys looking at all of us. 6 p.m, we make a train track on the floor. James insists I be a human tunnel and hold a sort of weird crab position while he pushes the train around. Alba practices her rolling. She can get onto her side, but not the full way over yet. And Jack tidies the kitchen and takes the bins out. At 7 p.m, James suddenly looks like he's about to fall asleep standing up. A small miracle happens and he lets us put his pajamas on and brush his teeth with no complaints, which never happens. He must really be tired. I make him a bottle of milk and he chooses what storybooks he wants to read before bed. And Jack takes him upstairs to go to sleep. And I put on Alba's eczema cream, which she absolutely hates, and change her outfit because she's very, very drooly at the moment. She might be teething, and the neck of her baby grow is all wet, so I put her into a fresh outfit. She hates me by this point with all the cream and the changing, so I feed her to calm her back down, and she falls asleep in my arms again. So I put on that new Kim Kardashian lawyer show, All's Fair, but give up after about 30 minutes. It's awful. And I regret that I didn't manage to grab some gummy worms that are in the cupboard, but now I'm nap trapped. 8:30 p.m, Jack takes Alba and I get the gummy worms and then go get in the shower. And I make my old lady hot water bottle, which is the only thing I like about winter, is getting to crack out my hot water bottle again. And I do my skincare to try and do something about the terrible aging that's happened since I had kids. And then I put away the laundry that's been in our room and I get out a clean uniform for James for the next day. 9 p.m. Jack brings up Alba and we change nappy, we put on her owlet and get her in her sleep sack, and then she feeds to sleep again. 9:30 p.m. This is my golden half hour with both kids asleep. I have 3 half-finished books on my bedside table, but I usually just do some mindless scrolling or reply to WhatsApp messages. But tonight I write this, which takes more than 30 minutes, but makes me appreciate all the things I do on a mundane Monday. And it was an interesting exercise because as I was getting ready for bed and getting in the shower, I was feeling kind of guilty. I was thinking, oh, I didn't feel like I hadn't spent a lot of time with James today, playing with him. And I was also thinking, oh, maybe Alba should have had more time on the floor instead of she's always been carted about, to the school drop-offs and pickups and to gymnastics classes and things. But when I've written it all out like this, I've thought, well, I should really be a bit nicer to myself because I've actually done a lot. And of course, I've left out a bunch of the random extra things like nappies and tidying up and little random moments of playing that happened. So yeah, this was just supposed to be a little day in the life snippet so you can see what my life is like. It's a pretty regular day, apart from I didn't do laundry today, which is unusual, and I had some friends come over to visit, which is again not something that obviously happens every day. But yeah, so if you're on mat leave or you're ever thinking, oh, I'm not doing enough or I don't accomplish anything in my days, then honestly try writing it all out like this because I bet you are doing an enormous amount. So yeah, sending love to you all, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if anyone has got any comments or questions, then pop them in the comments section. I'd love to hear anything you've got to say. And if you don't already, then please like the show and follow 10,000 Steps with Baby on Instagram. And I will see you next week.